Okay, guys, this is part two about this cancellation of Mr. Beast. Now, before you watch this, make sure you watch part one because it starts off about a person that's on Mr. Beast's team, and that's Ava Chris Tyson. And recently, some crazy allegations came up about her, which then led all types of people to really deep sea dive and investigate Mr. Beast. And I'm gonna just tell y'all now, there is some dirt, and there seems to be some kind of receipts, which, as you can see, Mr. Beast dropped a new video. And look, it has 2 million dislikes. That's how much damage these receipts did. And the person that posted it was supposedly an ex-employee of Mr. Beast. And it's an hour-long video. I worked for Mr. Beast, he's a fraud. He was just going off. And I watched it and I saw what happened to him. They trying to sue him for defamation right now. So I just want to say, I'm not saying that everything that he's saying is true. I'm just showing you what he showed me. And Photoshop do exist. So I don't, Mr. Beast, leave me alone. Leave me alone. Okay, so this man had a whole chart of why he thinks Mr. Beast is a fraud. Now, one of the things that Mr. Beast says online is that none of his videos are fake. And this employee just starts pointing off shit. This train, CGI. This bus, CGI. Fake explosions. A car going into a grinder, that was fake. These are fake clouds. Supposedly they bought an island for $1. He said that was fake. There was this deserted city. These buildings were fake, which they were. They said this was the only way off the deserted city with the helicopter. That was fake because they could Uber right off the area. These spikes in this stunt was CGI. Him crawling out was CGI, which basically makes him a paid actor. Jumping through this door, the door is fake. That pretty much everything with this guy was scripted. There's even a video clip where the actor keeps looking back at the time because they're trying to create like a sense of urgency or hype to the show. Now, when I first heard this, I was like, who cares? It doesn't hurt to have like a little bit of effects, you know? Until he started going deeper on this guy right here. His name is Mac, and he worked with this popular YouTube channel called Eric. And you can see him right there as the editor for the team. And supposedly, he found a public document that shows that Mac just moved to the same area as Mr. Beast in August. Not only that, he moved into a $1 million house, which is also around the same time he became an editor for Mr. Beast. Then 2 months later, Mac comes out on one of the videos as one of the contestants. And see, what makes it crazy is that he won $800,000 in this video, which made this member of Eric right here confront him. And he's like, Mac, why are you in a Mr. Beast video? And how are you paying for this house? How are you paying for this $100,000 car? And supposedly this was before the 800K. And Mac, he didn't want to say anything. He's just like, people will find out eventually, or some kind of code. And this just begs the question, is Mr. Beast rigging the results of his games? Now there's this video called 100 Boys vs 100 Girls. And this man just starts pointing motherfuckers out saying that he knows who they are. This girl said she had to leave early to go to work, so she gets outed. And I think this is like a LinkedIn, but this is her account right here, and she works for Mr. Beast. Look, here's another one. Recording coordinator, Leslie. Look at her. Look. He got employees as some of the contestants. This right here is supposedly Mr. Beast's girlfriend, which then again, damn, another person that you know is a contestant. This guy received $10,000. As you can see here, head of editing for Mr. Beast. But one thing I will say, back in the day, see this 5 years ago, a lot of Mr. Beast's video challenges was done with his own friends. So having people that work with him in the videos isn't really that much of a surprise. Now, for this challenge, I'm not sure where these texts come from, but I guess this was asked to an employee or someone else working there. Were the results of any videos rigged? It says here in the 100 Boys vs. Girls, we were told it would be a PR problem if the boys won by a lot. Also, we didn't have enough girls to film, so several Mr. Beast employees stepped in for the video, but most had to get out almost immediately, so production was told to get more boys out to make it closer. Also, at the end, when we divided the circle into 10 parts, there was a shift change of the people monitoring the contestants. After we noticed no more girls got out, I think the results were pretty much rigged, which I'm not sure who wrote that, but then that would explain why some of the employees were in the games and then gave them an excuse to leave early. It seems like for the most part, Mr. Beast is trying to be fair, but then again, the word fair is very interesting. He has this laser challenge, and a girl, right, she had to walk through the whole thing, and she gets through. Now you see this fence, right? Now with this guy, instead of doing the maze, Mr. Beast allows him to just jump over the fence. And then you see him like on the walls and he let him jump over back. Either way, I don't think that any of us would call that fair. But then again, Mr. Beast has never really been a guy to take challenges that serious. He just comes up with ideas and wings them. And I believe that this carefree style has caused implications in other areas for Mr. Beast. One being, basically, he was doing like illegal lotteries or giveaways or sweepstakes. So basically, there are specific rules bounded by law. And in this live stream, it seems to be that he's not following any kind of protocol. Like you'll see him say, in the next 5 minutes, someone has a chance to get $1,000 if you buy a shirt now. And then like after 5 minutes, they kind of forget to like put that $1,000 in someone's stuff. So then he'll be like, okay, in the next 2 minutes, we're gonna give another $1,000 away. And I guess this happens a lot. Not only that, it's required by law to disclose that no purchase is necessary to enter a giveaway. It becomes a lottery if it involves a prize, a chance, and payment. To avoid being classified as a lottery, they have to make sure it says no purchase is necessary to enter, that it's clear. Failure to include such a disclosure could be considered deceptive or unfair marketing practices. And I guess throughout this whole live stream, he doesn't mention that no purchases are necessary. The most you get is it being right here in very small letters. We are doing a tons of giveaways, no purchase necessary. But throughout the live, supposedly he doesn't say it, which would mean he's kind of like in a gray area of a lottery, which is gambling. And I guess the problem with this is most of his audience is kids. So he technically has kids gambling. And some YouTubers and channels have paid the price for this. In this giveaway, it says 24 random people will be picked during this live stream to compete for $1 million. So the same thing happens again. He's selling the t-shirts, giving out prizes. There's a point again where he's like, anyone that buys a shirt in the next 30 minutes has a chance to win my car. I'm not even sure if anyone even got that car. There's not even a video that got posted for those 24 people to win that $1 million. Unless it's this where it says 100 people, last leave the circle wins 500,000. Going from 24 to 100 means you have less odds and it's less money, which then I guess that would make this a lie. Not only that, Mac is again in this video and he just jumps out the circle and Mr. Beast is like, don't worry, you're not going to leave empty-handed. And then gives him a brand new car, which is like, huh? Maybe this is like a technique to get people to jump out the circle or a tax write-off and you can just give it to your homie. I don't know if Mr. Beast was doing that on purpose or maybe he was just being that careless, but that didn't make him look good. There's multiple people on Reddit complaining about not getting their prize. They was posting receipts. Also, the live was titled, if you buy this shirt, I'll sign it. And on the website where people are buying shirts, it doesn't mention any kind of sweepstake, but it says this limited tee signed by Mr. Beast and crew. But in this video, you see someone else forge Mr. Beast's signature, and then he covers it like nobody would notice, then does his own signature. And see, look, this is Mr. Beast's official signature. Why is someone else writing your signature? Which then makes you look like you're finessing even harder. Imagine buying a shirt just to find out that it wasn't even his signature. And not only that, I don't know if Mr. Beast's PR team working, but they deleted like all the live streams. Now another thing, supposedly Mr. Beast had people pay $10 to send like a JPEG or a picture to the moon, and he would add it to this giveaway. Which, remember guys, you gotta say there's no purchase necessary for the giveaway, but you don't see it anywhere on here. I guess the day finally came and they launched the rocket, but it ended up coming back down and supposedly exploding. You know, I'm tired of these supposedlies. Is this a real situation? Okay, guys, I looked it up. This is what happened. NASA was sending a rocket to the moon. Mr. Beast put all the photos onto this hard drive and convinced them to take this hard drive up to the moon. I guess he paid a lot of money, whatever. This happened early 2021, and it got delayed year after year after year. So people were saying, yo, was this a scam? Everybody's thinking it's a scam, you know? Some people were defending Mr. Beast and was like, no, they don't believe Mr. Beast would do that. So then some people were like coming up with reasons and excuses of why it's not a scam or why or whatever the fuck. Finally, just this year, January 8th, there's a whole live stream of where the rocket, with the hard drive supposedly in there, gets shipped to the moon. People on Mr. Beast's Reddit was asking for the live stream of the video because they couldn't find it. It seems to be that Mr. Beast didn't give them a link, I guess. Somebody found it and posted a link. Everybody was excited as fuck. They're like, finally, our stuff's getting sent to the moon. Then bad news started coming out. It says it appears that the lander won't make it to the moon. It suffered a propulsion anomaly soon after separating from the rocket, just narrowly avoiding running out of power by doing an improvised emergency maneuver to point the solar panels at the sun. Basically ends all possibility of landing on the moon. Alright, so it doesn't make it to the moon. How do you know that Mr. Beast stuff was on this? It says here it was listed as one of the payloads on the DHL Moonbox, which flew on this mission, which you can see over here. Mr. Beast says, for $10, I'll put whatever picture you want on the moon. Over here, Astrobotic, we would like to set the record straight that we at Astrobotics are sending items to the moon through our Moonbox program. NASA is not involved in this initiative. A lot of people felt scammed. It says, thanks for the update and a pity that it didn't work. Would have wanted an update from Mr. Beast instead of sweeping it under the carpet. So, did they get their money back? I don't think so. So, Mr. Beast has his own thing called Feastables. So, he has his own chocolate bar. And in some videos, he says that he's aware of like child obesity going up. So, like, these bars are more healthy for you. Healthier than Hershey's, I guess. I guess in 2024, the ingredients are different. But it looks like there's a lot more sugar in Mr. Beast's Feastables, which I don't know if I would say that's healthier. He even had Keith Lee try them, and it didn't seem like he liked them that much. He said they were kind of sweet. Now, y'all have to watch the video yourself. Keith rates them a 7. Mr. Beast started eating them and said, nah, I rate them a 10, an 11. Which is like, it's like he doesn't like Keith Lee's answer. I understand being disappointed, but like, you should know that Keith Lee was going to be truthful, and you could have took his critique and just made your bars better. And he rated him a 7, so it seems to be that Mr. Beast like expected like a more favorable answer to like promote his bars. Now again, with these bars, he did another giveaway where like Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory, the chocolate bars will have like a golden ticket, which as you can see here, which by the way, this huge promotion for his chocolate bars and other snacks, it does kind of contradict his like concern for like the rising of child obesity, but okay. Not only that, one of the winners ends up becoming this very huge channel with 767k subscribers, and they were filming themselves opening it, and they were shocked that they got the ticket. But one thing that was crazy is in the video, the girl says, hey, thank you, Mr. Beast, for picking us. And the guy's like, bro, hold on, he didn't pick us. And she's like, oh, well, thank you for giving us this chance, da-da-da-da. You would kind of be like, was it that random? Not only that, the same team, the guy goes on to win the entire thing. Now, we don't got evidence, but it does make you be like, Now, guys, outside of the employee's video, some news just came out. The New York Times wrote an article saying willing to die for Mr. Beast and $5 million. Basically, they're working on a new Beast game, which just happened over here in Vegas. And people signed contracts that acknowledges the risk of serious injury and death. It got announced by MGM Studios, and like thousands of people jumped at the chance for a $5 million prize. And there's now news coming back from contestants because they just wrapped it up. It says here, several contestants told the New York Times that they had been asked whether they would be willing to be buried alive or travel to outer space. One contestant recalled being asked if she would be able to swim to shore if thrown overboard a boat. It says here, I understand that such activities may cause me death, illness, or serious bodily injury, including but not limited to exhaustion, dehydration, overexertion, burns, and heat stroke. Read a line in a contract reviewed by the Times the applicants were required to sign. What they did not expect, however, were the more mundane yet potentially dangerous inconveniences that they said they had befallen during the competition. A lot of people signed a non-disclosure, so they had to stay anonymous. It says here over a dozen people who participated in the first installment of Beast Games said that they had not received adequate food or medical care and that some competitors had suffered injuries from the physical challenges. It says some contestants left the competition arena on stretchers. Damn, what the fuck were y'all doing? A contestant said, though it was unclear if any of those contestants had faced serious medical conditions. Another described watching fellow contestants vomiting and appearing to pass out. There were several hospitalizations. I wonder if this is something that's always been happening. I don't know. It says here Mr. Beast relied on the willingness of others. His own former employees have spoken out about safety concerns. One contestant said, we signed up for the show, but we didn't sign up for not being fed or watered or treated like human beings. The games begin. MGM Studios works with Mr. Beast, and this is supposedly the $5 million prize is the biggest prize in streaming and television history. It says 2,000 contestants gathered in Nevada at the Allegiant Stadium, home of the Las Vegas Raiders. Why the fuck was I invited, bro? I live over here now. Fuck. Competitors ate, slept, and lived inside the stadium while competing in the challenges like moving heavy objects an extreme game of capture the flag. Some stayed up to 3 nights. Oh. Before they arrived at the stadium on July 18th, the contestants had to turn in their phones and belongings, including medication. The group ranged in age from members of Gen Z to a competitor who said he was 82. You're not fucking winning. Right from the start, things seemed off. Some contestants said they only originally had been told that the competition would have 1,000 participants. But upon arrival, contestants received a video message from Mr. Beast reviewed by the Times informing them that the number of contestants was higher. Mr. Beast says obviously there was 2,000 contestants. I don't remember if I said that publicly or not. A spokesperson for Mr. Beast, they commonly say a spokesperson. I wonder why they don't say a name. Said the intention had always been to have 2,000 competitors during the phase to winnow down to the 1,000 for the Amazon MGM show. Almost sounds like a preliminary. After learning that they would be competing against twice as many people, some said that they felt they had been misled about their odds of winning. Several contestants also said they had not been warned about how little they would be given to eat and how infrequently. They described going on long stretches without being fed by the production. One said she had gone over 20 hours. 20 fucking hours? Both during the games and while they were in Las Vegas before and after filming. Contestants said they had expected the production to provide them with meals for the duration of their time in Nevada. What the fuck are happening in these Beast games? And you stayed too. That's crazy. I bet she stayed. It sounds like one of our relationship videos. And she stayed after he did that. One meal described by several contestants included a tiny portion of cold oatmeal, one hard-boiled egg, and a few pieces of raw vegetables. My man served him jail. You served them jail food. Meals throughout the games were small and sporadic, contestants said. It was difficult to keep track of time without watches or phones, but contestants estimated that they had been fed twice a day. But a spokesperson said they were offered 3 meals a day. Who is the spokesperson? On a few occasions, the production staff passed around Feastable chocolate bars. You gave them fucking candy. People eating and praising the candy, contestants said. Ain't no way we gave them Feastables instead of fucking food is insane. People with food allergies and dietary restrictions said they had experienced even more trouble. Before the competition, contestants filled out forms detailing their dietary needs. There was an FAQ document provided to contestants in advance of the event and reviewed by Times that said that all dietary and food restrictions would be taken into consideration. But several contestants said they had been served food that they were allergic to and the alternatives was not provided. We were treated horribly, a contestant said. They took on this challenge of 2,000 competitors. They should have known they needed an enormous crew to handle this correctly. It doesn't seem like Mr. Beast was prepared for this amount of people. Hungry, bruised, and bleeding? It says here Mr. Beast came out like God on top of the $5 million and all of them were like screaming at him like he's like God. During the opening speeches, one of the contestants recalled Mr. Beast encouraging the participants to speak up and ask for help from the staff if they needed it. They even had a psychologist. It says here that Times called out to that psychologist, Barry Goldstein, but he declined to comment on the event. I don't think he stayed though. I think he was just for the beginning of the set. It says several contestants said that when they had sought out production staff members for assistance with medical care, food, or hygiene issues, the staff members were often not helpful and appeared disorganized. Some staff members yelled and cursed at the contestants. Why is your staff cursing at contestants? It says here, despite reassurance that contestants' medication would be distributed to them when needed, several contestants said they had not received their medication on time, including one contestant who needed insulin, instead receiving it hours or even days after their scheduled dosing time. Damn! One contestant said she had initially been denied the food she required to take her medication and had been told by the staff members that she didn't actually need to eat. After asking repeatedly, she was given half a banana. Not getting your insulin for, if not hours, days is crazy. It just doesn't seem like Mr. Beast was prepared for this. Contestants were instructed to supply the production staff with a Ziploc bag containing 5 days worth of undergarments, which would be distributed to contestants once the games were underway. But several contestants said they had waited hours or even days to receive their clean underwear. Yeah, why are they holding on to your underwear? What is happening? One woman said that when she and a group of contestants who were menstruating during the event had asked the production staff about getting their underwear more quickly, she had been told that it was not a medical emergency, and she recalled that a nearby member of the production staff had laughed at the women's pleading. Contestants felt that the staff was overwhelmed by the volume of competitors. The first challenge involved 5 teams of 400 people pulling ropes attached to 10,000-pound weights as fast as possible. Mr. Beast, you got them like pulling blocks? This sound like Egypt pulling blocks for a pyramid. Are they building you a statue? The issues began, participants said, when they were broken into those teams. A scramble for team pennies quickly became chaotic and frightening. I'm pretty sure pennies are the things you put over yourself to pick what color or team you're on. Several said describing a crush of people pushing and shoving other contestants while the production staff was unable to calm the crowd. One contestant described hyperventilating amid the scene. Another said she had almost been horizontal and had feared being trampled. Some male contestants refused to pass pennies to female contestants, with the result that one of the teams were predominantly women. Blaming the men is crazy. I think that you should have like blamed Mr. Beast's. Mr. Beast should have just had a set up for who's on whose team that was like even, because there was an 82-year-old guy. So I'm pretty he should have had like a whole setup of who's on whose team. Several people interviewed for the article felt that they had not had a fair chance at winning the prize money given the way the teams were formed. One contestant said she had left the stadium bruised and bleeding. What the fuck? After being injured and eliminated in the first challenge. She was handed $1,000 and a stack of dollar bills as the consolation prize. Okay, well, that's still uncalled for. But said she had to hand the money back to producers after the cameras were off. Couldn't even hold on to it. Competitors were told they would receive their real payments later. She said, but as of the time of this publication, she had not yet been paid. Oh my God, couldn't even get the money at that time is crazy. Several contestants told the Times that they had been contacted by the production team and offered an additional $1,000. While contestants were free to leave the competition at any time, many stayed despite the conditions, hoping to win the grand prize. That's crazy. Those who made it past the first challenge were given toiletry kits and sleeping bags and slept on the stadium's turf floor. Contestants said it was difficult to get much sleep during the games, knowing they had often been expected to sleep during the daylight hours in the sunny stadium and film challenges takes at the night. One contestant said she had expected the difficulty given that there had often been elements of sleep deprivation in Mr. Beast's previous competitions. Which is true. Mr. Beast challenges do have these kind of, especially sleep deprivation for sure. These challenges aren't for the weak. But damn, you couldn't. But I don't. This is a little bit different. You couldn't even hand up people's medications. A little crazy. That doesn't mean just a hard challenge. That just means like bad management. It says here 1,000 participants made it through, and they're going to be filming again in August in Canada. It says here in screenshots from a group chat provided to the Times, some of the remaining contestants appear unbothered by the experience. They had signed a contract that they're willing to die for this. And I really can't blame people for wanting to put their life on the line when it's $5 million put up on here. Some people say it's not Mr. Beast's fault that people want to put their lives on the line for this stuff. But I do think there's like a dynamic of power. And like, since Mr. Beast is aware that people are putting their life on the lines for this, he should put a lot of his like resources into making sure this is safe as possible for people. Because there's people that have lives that are desperate for this kind of money. Okay, guys, so this is currently what's out about Mr. Beast. I think there's more. If we really need a part 3, I'll make a fucking part 3, guys, okay? If more stuff come out. Now, is this something that can cancel Mr. Beast? Especially amid the previous allegations with Ava Chris Tyson? I don't know. I do believe that Mr. Beast has a good heart. I think this is just a lot of like bad business practice. And he's 26. And a lot of these things happened like 4 or 3 years ago. He was like 22. I just don't expect the best decisions from a 22-year-old. But also, for how much money Mr. Beast has, I don't think there's any excuse to not have like a lawyer on retainer to make sure everything that he's doing is legal or like, you know what I'm saying, correct. I don't know, y'all. I'm just showing you the information. As I always say, what do you think about this?